Hey, everybody in Santa Fe, friends, everybody tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. Alan Weber here from the mayor's office, wearing my face mask and continuing to use hand sanitizer, practice physical distancing, because while there is light at the end of the COVID tunnel, we're not out of the woods yet. So please, please, let's stop the spread. Let's bend the curve. And let's get into green. Let's go for the green. I have some numbers to share with you. We had some great days. We had some days of 3 and 8 and 2 new cases in Santa Fe County, but more recently, 10, 14, 14, and 16 new cases over the last 4 days. We've got to get down and bend the curve if we want to get into the green. Good things happen when we get into the green. We can open up more. We can put people back to work. We can enjoy more of our restaurants and our dining facilities. We can enjoy more of our recreation facilities. We can congregate a little bit more and breathe a little bit easier, still wearing a face mask. So please do what you can to bend the curve. Remember to register to get vaccinated, vaccinenm.org. Download the Novid app, N-O-V-I-D, so that we know when we're in the vicinity of somebody who may have tested positive. The vaccine dashboard will tell you how we are doing in Santa Fe. And there is free at-home testing for COVID at Vault, Vault Health, learn.vaulthealth.com/NM. There are COVID resources at our Connect operation, santafenm.gov/connect. If you need help, ask for help. We have help to give. Help is on the way. I had a couple of conversations today with leadership at both Christus and La Familia. J&J, as you know, has now been given the go-ahead with their vaccine. That's the third one that is now made available. The good news about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, there's a couple things. Number one, it only takes one shot. So you get it and you're done. You don't have to come back. Second thing that's good about it is it doesn't have to be super frozen. It can be refrigerated in a normal fashion. The good news for us here in Santa Fe County, Christus just got 1,500 doses of J&J. They're looking at a vaccination event this weekend to get people 75 years and up vaccinated with J&J, one and done. And La Familia got 200 doses, so they are doing outreach as well. I put in an email over the weekend. I'm very concerned about the issue of equity. We know that if you look at the vaccination dashboard, the groups that are doing really well are our Native American population, which is getting vaccinated through their own health service, and our Anglo population, which is getting vaccinated because significant proportion in Santa Fe County are 75 years and older. Lagging behind our African American population and our Hispanic Latino population. It's really important that we get our Hispanic population, our Latino population, our African American population vaccinated. Many of the people who are not getting vaccinated live in 87505 and 87507. I emailed the Department of Health over the weekend, pointing out that the criteria that are being used are probably unintentionally, but nevertheless effectively not reaching the population in those two zip codes. And we've got to do more to do outreach and make vaccinations available to people who are essential workers as we open up, as we see more in restaurant dining, as we see our hotels increase their occupancy rate. People who work there are the people who live in 87505 and 87507. Those folks, our residents, need vaccination. So I'll continue to advocate, and I will let you know when I get some feedback from the DOH and the governor's office. The other thing we're seeing in other states that I think we need to begin to look for is lowering the vaccination age from 75 down to 65. That seems to be happening around the country. It's something that the CDC is recommending. As more vaccine comes online, as we get more of those J&J doses, I expect we'll see our vaccination rate continue to increase. So here again, help is on the way. It's important to be patient, but it's also important for equity to reach people who are currently not getting vaccinated, but who are essential frontline workers. Right now, I looked at the vaccine dashboard. Santa Fe is registering around 20%, 19.9%, 20%, right around there. A lot of other counties are about the same place. Bernalillo, others in our area are a little bit better. Los Alamos is about 22%. Overall, the state continues to do an excellent job of getting vaccine into people's arms. I think we are number 2 in the nation, behind Alaska, where there's a lot of native population who are getting vaccinated through their own health services. So to be number 2 is a substantially good performance, and we should give everybody at DOH and in the governor's office, her team, a great big thank you. At the same time, we need to be very aware that there are people who are not being reached. We've got to get the vaccine into those people's arms. So stay tuned. We'll be talking on Friday with Dr. Wendy Johnson from La Familia, and we'll see where we are by Friday with our vaccination rate. Hopefully, even more people will be reached as we get this third vaccine online. That is a quick update on our situation with COVID. I think we all feel like spring and summer are on the way. It's going to be a beautiful change of season. The city is working to try to prepare for a good, healthy, strong recovery, economic recovery, social recovery, helping everyone in our community get outdoors, get back to work. Hopefully we'll have a healthy, safe return of tourists who want to be part of Santa Fe going forward. I talked to one hotel general manager yesterday, and they're seeing their occupancy rate month by month go up 10% per month, starting from a low number, 16, 17%, up to 26, up to 36, pushing forward, hopefully getting into the when we get to green, the 50% rate of occupancy. That'll bring people back to work. That'll bring people the paychecks they want, need, and deserve. So stay the course, stay safe, bend the curve, wear your mask, use hand sanitizer. Let's go green, and then let's go turquoise, and we will be enjoying a beautiful spring and summer. Our special guest today, we have a special guest star, Isabella Sharp. Isabella, come on into the camera, if you will. If you are a resident, there you are. Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. If you are a resident of Santa Fe, and most of the folks watching and listening are, you probably know this lady, Isabella Sharp. You may not have seen her picture or her face before. You may not have actually had a chance to see her on camera, but among all the roughly 1,400 people who work for the city of Santa Fe, from the mayor, the council members, you name it, the number one person who solves problems, who interacts with residents, who makes good things happen, that is Ms. Isabella Sharp. She is constituent services par excellence. She is the constituent services guru. And today she's going to show you what happens when you put a concern, complaint, suggestion into the city's new CRM system, which Isabella Sharp manages. She likes to be called Izzy, but She is also Isabella and Ms. Sharp, all of the above. And she is a one-person problem-solving guru. So welcome to the WebberCast, Isabella. If you can tell people a little about yourself, how long you've worked for the city, where you grew up, what it's like to be the most important person in city government when it comes to solving people's problems. Give us a little autobiography.
You got it. Thank you for having me, Mayor Webber, and thank you for your kind words. I'm Isabella Sharp. I do go by Izzy by many people. I do prefer Izzy over Isabella. I have been with the city of Santa Fe 8 years now. I am born and raised in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I truly enjoy my job. I love to work for the public. I like to help people in any way possible. We always say, what do we want to be when we grow up? And for me, helping people is what makes my heart happy. So if I can help and assist in any way, that is my go-to. So I feel that working for the city of Santa Fe in constituent services, this is definitely my calling. As Mayor Webber said, I take all of the complaints for the city of Santa Fe, whether it's over the phone, whether it's for one of the city councilors, whether it's from an email. Sometimes when we just walk outside the door, somebody's at the front door and needs some assistance here at City Hall. So wherever it is, even when I'm out driving around town or I'm running to go get some groceries, I see some graffiti or I see a pothole, I like to make sure that I keep my community safe, and we make Santa Fe beautiful, and we do our part as community members as well. So
I'm going to put in a special request, which Izzy told me if I called her Isabella, she feels like she's being scolded. So that may have been something from growing up, like when you mess up, you get your full name thrown at you. But Izzy is a phenomenal problem solver. And the one thing I would ask is, when you have a problem or a suggestion, sometimes it's a good thing, like we ought to do more of this, or I saw something and somebody ought to be complimented for it. When you interact with Izzy, please remember she is handling 100 complaints a day, 100 calls, 100 emails. I mean, you'll see with the CRM system just how many folks in our community are asking the city for help. And that's good. That's what we're here for. We want to be the most user-friendly city in America. But when we're being user-friendly, please be user-friendly back. And remember that Izzy's a person, and be polite, be respectful, recognize she's going to work her best to solve your problem, and yelling or screaming is not helpful for you or for her. Be a little patient. Give her the benefit of the doubt. I can promise you she is here to help. She is a phenomenal problem solver. We get emails. I get emails all the time. I got one today about a woman in Texas who's looking to get her big heavy trucks back on the road, and sent me an email to the mayor's office. How do I get my trucks back on the road? I send it to Izzy saying, Izzy, how does she get her trucks back on the road? And Izzy, I saw what happened. It was 10 seconds later. Izzy knows exactly who to send the email to at the police department for the permitting and roads crew. And she is on it. So give her a thank you. Tell her you know she's working hard. Recognize that a little patience is an important part of getting through COVID and making the city government help us help you by giving Izzy a round of applause, because she is really on your side. She's the closest thing we've got in Santa Fe city government to an ombudsperson. She is there to help. So Izzy, take over the screen, give us a little guided tour of a CRM system, and tell us what CRM even stands for.
Absolutely. So CRM stands for Constituent Management Relationship. So this is where all complaints, concerns, problems, as you had said, Mayor Weber, whether it's some feedback you want to give to the city, this is where we ask that you go and you file that concern, problem, or feedback. So if you just go to, I'm sorry.
You start at the city's main website and then you click on report and request.
Yes, so you do go to the City of Santa Fe website, which is santafenm.gov. On the homepage, there's some call out boxes here. And so you want to click on report and request. And this will take you to our CRM system. A couple highlights that I'm going to go over with you all is the CRM public dashboard. So here's the link for the CRM public dashboard. And then I will also show you where you can also review the public dashboard once we are done creating a work order. We also do have a video tutorial, which is a quick 3, 4, 5 minute video that will show you how to create a CRM, as I'm going to show you here as well. So if you don't have time, you can always visit that video and we can walk you through how to make a work order. So for right now, I'm going to create a graffiti work order. So whether it's in the public, maybe it's on a utility box, maybe somebody went and graffitied on your stucco wall, or maybe you and your kids are outside playing on the park and you see some graffiti on a park. So for today, I'm going to use the example of a public property. So there's a bunch of different questions that really need to be filled in. So that way I know exactly where this graffiti is, where it's located, what it's located on, what color possibly the graffiti can be. That way I know exactly what I'm sending to the staff members out in the field, and they know exactly what it is that you need us to have removed or cleaned up. So I'm going to say that there is orange graffiti on the utility box. And then you can describe the problem here. So there's an orange graffiti on the utility box. And let's say it's on the corner of Agua Fria and St. Francis. And then I do need you to put the location in the boxes. That way we know exactly where it is. It does ask you twice where the address is located. Here, if you just kind of give me a vague location, that works. On the map, sometimes maybe it's in the arroyo and you're trying to describe the address here in the arroyo. If you really zoom in here to the map, you can really pin where exactly that arroyo or that problem is, and that you really want us to zoom into this map and you can really grasp where that is at. We also have this really nice feature here where you're able to take a picture and you can submit the concern or the problem to city staff. That way we know exactly what the issue or concern is, and I can send that over to staff as well. Here we ask that you do put your name, your phone number. The best way for constituent services to communicate with you is going to be by email. So if you put in your email, this will send me a notification on my end, letting me know that you created a work order and you put in your email. So for today, I'm going to say, no, I'm not an employee. I'm just a regular constituent such as yourself, and I'm filing a graffiti work order. So this is going to show you here on your box that you are submitting a work order. And you are submitting a graffiti work order to me. So once you hit the submit box, this notification will come up and it'll let you know that we will get back to you with the status of your work orders. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, here we have the CRM public dashboard for you to go and view, and then you can also click on the link. The other cool thing too is once I get the email notification that I received your work order, I will also send you an email response saying, thanks Mayor Weber for submitting this work order. Your work order number is 3468. here is the link to the public dashboard. Please go in and you can review it. So this is also the other amazing area where you can come in, you can really view your own work orders as well as other work orders that are being inputted into the system. So we call this the public work order dashboard. Anybody is able to review this. It'll show you what the problem type is, whether it's trash and recycling. We have an other category that really grasps some major other concerns that maybe you want to bring to our attention that are not an option at the beginning of filing a report. We have road maintenance, whether you need to file some pothole requests, some code violations, maybe your neighbor is building a guest house without a permit, and that is a little concerning to you. Here we are, we filed a graffiti work order, we have parks and trails, and some weed complaints as well. So this will also show you some amazing numbers. So the total work orders in the last 60 days that have been reported to constituent services is 668 work orders. So those are some.
Hit the pause button right there.
Okay.
That's a staggering number. So in 60 days, 668 work orders have been filed. Is that about normal for the workload that you get?
It is, and I will actually say it truly does depend on the season as well. So we're going to see more complaints come in, whether when the weather truly does warm up, and maybe there's some more weed complaints that are going to be brought to our attention. For example, last week we received, I believe, 17 work orders that were just for snow and ice removal. So maybe you can't get through to the streets department, or maybe I'm on the other line with another constituent and you don't want to leave me a voicemail. So this is always the place where you can always come and fill out that report where you say, there's snow and ice on my street. So it really does depend, Mayor, on the type of season and the type of complaints that constituents are wanting to report. But if I can highlight that we do, and we have seen a 56% increase of the public using our new CRM system. So in April of last year, we went live with this new CRM system. And when comparing numbers from 2019 into 2020, a 56% increase of the public using this new CRM system. Those numbers definitely have gone up.
That's astonishing. So
it really is.
And it's good. The other piece of good news here is if you look at the work order status symbol, it appears as if 73% of the work orders that you received have already been resolved.
They have. So if you just hover over the different colors here, it will show you that out of the 668 work orders that have been filed in the last 60 days, 481 of those work orders have been completed. So that's 73% of our overall work orders that have come in. I also did run a report for the month of February yesterday. So for the whole month of February, we received 366 work orders. And so that is 102 more work orders than we received for the month of January.
So people are maybe getting out more, or something's going on, right?
Absolutely. But that's what we like. We want to make sure that we're here to serve the public, and make sure, maybe if you're riding on your bike, and I'm seeing a lot of different complaints about some shopping carts. I don't know what it is about shopping carts these days, but shopping carts are just all over the place. So those are definitely complaints that I'm seeing from the public that are coming in. So again, whether it's graffiti, potholes, whatever it is you need to bring to our attention, you can definitely see that these numbers truly show and reflect that our community is involved and our community is using our system.
So hover over on the work order map part of your dashboard, because that's also interesting. That gives people a series of pins that have been dropped. If they may want to just see what different pins are in their neighborhood. If they're living in a particular neighborhood in the city, and they want to see what kinds of complaints make up the largest number of issues in their neighborhood. Hovering over that work order map gives them a feeling of what their neighbors are using the CRM system to report.
Yes, and this is a really cool feature. I'm glad you brought that up. So this actually also goes by district. So the district map is actually color coordinated as well. So we can also really grasp what's going on in our different districts. So everything is color coordinated. So here we'll, go with graffiti, since that was our graffiti work order. So everything highlighted here around the city of Santa Fe, this shows in the last, again, 60 days, we've had 37 work orders that have been brought to our attention. And here are the different pins of different work orders that have been reported. It'll also show you if it's been resolved. It'll show you what all of the statuses are. So if you just, come around and play in the dashboard, everything will show you what specifically is going on in the city. If we click on, maybe property and code violations, again, maybe your neighbor is building a casita in the backyard without a permit, or maybe your neighbor's yard is unsightly, maybe they have some junk vehicles. This will really kind of show you exactly what type of complaints are being filed. So very organized, as we like to be. Everything is color coordinated. Again, here's road maintenance. You can click here. Here, it'll show you that maybe it was a signage complaint. So maybe a stop sign got knocked down, or here we have a pothole request. And so feel free to go into the dashboard and mess with the color coordinating work orders, and you can definitely get an idea of what's going on in the city.
You also have the ability to create a report on the average amount of time it takes to resolve a problem. Unless I'm mistaken, that's a pretty astonishing statistic as well.
Yes, we do. And I actually can generate that on my end as well. I don't believe, so we are going every 6 months, the city of Santa Fe does a maintenance and upgrades to the CRM system. So I really, hear from the public again, as you had mentioned before, give me some ideas of what I can do on my end to make this easier for you. Or maybe I really don't have a complaint in the category for you on this end of, the CRM system. So maybe I need to incorporate a new category or a new question for you. So every 6 months, the city of Santa Fe, we do close off the CRM system for upgrades and modifications, so we can bring those type of that feedback, even from city staff, bring that feedback to light. So this is actually on my to-do list for maintenance and upgrades, is to be able to really show that reflection, so that way the community really can see the turnaround time and can really see how hard our city staff members are working. And given, all of COVID that has happened and social distancing, all the above, how amazing and what a phenomenal team we really do have with the city of Santa Fe. And again, the numbers truly do speak for themselves, Mayor. As you've seen, there was 71% of these numbers for all of these work orders in the last 60 days, all of these work orders have been closed out from the public that have been brought to our attention, and city staff has definitely done their work on their end to resolve this for the public. So,
gee, Izzy, this looks like an incredibly expensive piece of technology. I bet it cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to an outside vendor to get this system installed. Who was there a national firm we hired to get this done for hundreds of thousands of dollars, or how did this all happen?
Wonderful question. I am definitely going to shout out Jennifer Fabian, who is a council liaison for the city of Santa Fe. She has many, many wonderful traits that she brings to us. And this is one of them. So actually, Mayor, this CRM system was actually free. We had many internal meetings with different departments and with myself to see what the public is really needing, what city staff is really needing from the outside looking in. And so Jennifer Fabian with the city of Santa Fe actually built this from the ground up for free.
I actually knew that, but I was doing my imitation of my cousin Vinny when, are you telling us that this was free? And because we have a talented young woman who knows how to build a system like this, we didn't hire an outside consultant?
We did not, Mayor. We went with our city staff and they clearly have done an amazing job.
It's a great system. Not only is it easy to use, and it does make it simple for anybody in our community who wants to put in a work order. It's easy to do, and you will get feedback. You will be able to track the process. You will see whether or not it's resolved to your satisfaction. If it's not, let us know. That this is Izzy's here to make things better in Santa Fe. Bottom line of what constituent services is all about is we want things to work better, and we want the city to work better, and we want people to love the fact that their city government is working harder and better and smarter and trying to make life better in Santa Fe. And this is a tool for making life better in Santa Fe. So check it out. If you haven't put in a work order and you see something, report it. We can't fix it if we don't know about it. And we do have a group of people. We're so fortunate that our city employees, starting with Izzy, they really believe in customer service, user friendliness. So this is a tool to get the city looking good, working well, hanging in there as we make it our way through COVID to come out the other side. And whether it's weeds or trash or road maintenance, we're going to be working on it. Any last words, Izzy, anything I didn't ask you that's important for people to know about? It is also good to know, by the way, that we're trying to be more data driven. We're trying to use the data to tell us where we need to spend more resources as we put our budget together, and we're headed for the budget season now. We can look at this dashboard and say, oh, it's pretty clear we need to invest more in property maintenance and code inspections. That's a big part of our complaint portfolio. Let's put a little more tax dollars because that's what people are telling us they're worried about. Or it's all about potholes. We got to get cracking on potholes as we head for the spring. It's going to be pothole season. And last year, of course, we had the pothole hotline. So we read these data to figure out what folks want us to focus on and spend more tax resources to fix. Basically, it's a data tool for guiding us to help the city work better.
Definitely. I would just say if you do not have access to a computer, that is perfectly fine. I am always happy to assist you on my end. So if you do not have access to a computer and you don't have the time, or maybe you don't have the time to report something, maybe you just came across the pothole and you're driving, you can always give me a call at 955-6949, and I will be more than happy to put in a work order on your behalf.
There you go, folks. That's about as good an offer as you're ever going to get. You have a personal problem solver who works as hard as anybody ever worked in City Hall to make life better in Santa Fe. And I'm very grateful to you, Isabella. You are a tireless resource to make things better. And I am personally grateful to you because I send a lot of business your way. I get my fair share of emails, and I don't do the inputting. You do the inputting, the follow-up, and you make things better. So thank you. We're grateful to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, everybody, that is Isabella Sharp, our one-person problem-solving constituent services team. She does a great job. And like I said, if you need help, she's here to help. Please be nice to her. Treat her with some respect because she deserves it.
Thank you.
You weren't supposed to hear that, is it? A couple more things to wrap up before we're done today. Remember, we got to make it to the end of COVID before we can open up. I think we're headed for some better times. I think the J&J vaccine will help. As I said earlier, Christus got 1,500 doses. La Familia got 200 doses of the new J&J vaccine. It's easier to refrigerate. It's one shot and you're done. If you haven't registered for vaccination yet, please do. vaccinenm.org. If you have registered and you have not yet heard, check the DOH hotline. If you have a personal care provider, please check with them. They may know how to get you a vaccination. I think the pace is going to pick up. My number one concern is equity for the folks in 87505, 87507. We're going to keep advocating on their behalf. We've offered to the Department of Health any building they want, whether it's the convention center, the Southside Library. We will coordinate space, make it easy, convenient to do a drive-through vaccination. Whatever the city can do, we are here to help. We want to get vaccines in people's arms as quickly as possible. We want to get this, the numbers up, the safety up. We want to be ready to go to green, reopen, and stay safe. Please remember, as we do see the recovery coming, shop local. Keep your money where your home is. We really want to help our merchants, our retailers, our local mom and pop shops, our restaurants, help them make it through this last phase, hopefully last phase of COVID, help them go back to work, help them get back into business. Keep your money where your home is. It is really important to shop local. If you want to shop local from the convenience of your own home, there is a platform with Santa Fe-based retailers, SantaFeMarketplace.com. SantaFeMarketplace.com makes it easy and convenient for you to keep your money where your home is by shopping local, doing it over the web. A quick update on the legislative session. We are headed for the last 3 weeks or so. A number of bills that the city is interested in seem to be making some progress. We're trying to help our firefighters get their correct amount of retirement benefits, and we've been working and testifying on behalf of that to help our firefighters. We've been supporting a 21st century energy policy, renewable energy, community solar, community choice energy. Those bills we hope will make their way forward. We want a paid medical leave bill to make it into law. That would be a step forward for every working person in New Mexico, not just in Santa Fe. We're hoping that we will see the emergence of a bill for a public bank. Again, keep your money where your home is. A public bank could provide investment capital in small businesses right here in Santa Fe, low interest loans, make capital available right here in our community with a public bank. Let's see if that can make it through the legislature. There is another measure working its way through the legislature to put a crimp on payday lending, cap the percent of the interest rate on payday loans. Here in Santa Fe, in the city government, we were able to implement a program through our terrific human resources team led by Bernadette Salazar, where if you're an employee of the city of Santa Fe and you have a tough moment in your own personal finances, a tire blows on your car, or you need fix up a plumbing problem in your home and you don't have the cash, if you're a Santa Fe employee, you can get a no questions asked low interest loan simply because you've got a paycheck with the city of Santa Fe. We want the same kind of low interest capped emergency lending available to people in our community. So there's a lot of bills we're keeping an eye on. We're also hoping for a very positive outcome when it when we look at how the state legislature votes on a COVID relief package. And we're hoping a COVID relief package will come out of Washington, D.C. President Biden has a $1.9 trillion bill to provide COVID relief. And the city of Santa Fe, if it makes it through the Senate and becomes law, we would stand to potentially get some money out of that piece of national legislation. It would be the first time cities our size would get direct help from the federal government. So keep your fingers crossed for our friends in Washington, D.C. Keep your fingers crossed for the legislature here as they wrap up the session with about 3 weeks to go. We're looking for COVID relief package from the legislature. We're looking for capital outlay money for the city of Santa Fe. Hopefully to get another round of allocation for the Southside Teen Center. And then we've asked for projects in every district to help us recover and really spruce up Santa Fe this spring and this summer with projects in all parts of the city with the help of the legislature and their capital outlay budget. One other good word to remember, this is Women's History Month. On March the 2nd, we're just a couple days into it. A lot to celebrate with the role that women played in New Mexico history and Santa Fe history. I'll be talking about that more later in the week, but there is a fabulous website you can check out about the incredible contributions that women all over New Mexico made in history in the past and are making right now. We have important, powerful women leading our state as the governor and other important offices across our own community. A majority of our city council are women, the city manager, the finance director, our city attorney, our HR director, our public works director, more than I could name. They are not only a testimony to the history of Santa Fe looking backward, these are the women who are making the history of Santa Fe right now. So a big thank you to them and a shout out to them for all of their hard work. That about wraps it up for a Tuesday afternoon. Please remember, we are still fighting to drive the COVID numbers down. Bend the curve, get to green. We want to get to green. We want to get to turquoise. We want to open up. We want to live the Santa Fe promise. We want to stay open. We want to stay safe, and we want to do it together. So wear your mask, use your hand sanitizer. Don't let your guard down, even as vaccinations go up. Stay safe. Let's keep you safe. Let's keep your family safe. Let's keep our community safe. Together, we'll keep Santa Fe safe, open, and together. Thanks for sticking with us. Great work by our friend Izzy. Give her a round of applause. Send her a thank you note. She works hard for you and for everybody in Santa Fe. So until I see you later in the week, stay safe, and I'll see you on Friday. Take care.